The Trump administration wasted no time, less than half a day before posting photos of black men they've arrested on the official White House social media pages.
President Trump is tired of the crime, so he's sending us out, in the neighborhood.
Let's be clear, it's about stoking fear and feeding into the age-old racist stereotype that black people are inherently criminal or dangerous.
Hey, y'all. So earlier today, I made a video talking about the police presence in black neighborhoods in D.C. and the targeting of those neighborhoods. And within that, I had a clip, and there was a guy, and he was talking about all the presence that was out there. So he's like, oh, DEA, the police. He goes, HSI, and he seemed as if he didn't know what HSI was. So fast forward, I just see a video from D.L. Hughley, and it's more footage and that same, area, same neighborhood. And the cops pull up. Whatever agency the guy was from, I don't know. But he pulls up, and he's like asking questions. And so the black guy's kind of like, well, why are you here? Did somebody call you? And the law enforcement official goes, well, you haven't been watching the news. You don't know kind of what's going on. And the guy's like, no. And he goes, oh, well, President Trump is tired of the crime. So he's sending us out, in the neighborhoods or whatever. And when the guy was like, no, he didn't know what was going on. No, he didn't watch the news. It really just bothered me because we've got to do better. And I'm speaking to black people and black people only. So if you're not black, please don't come my comments with no answers or no comments. If your comment if you ain't supporting what I'm saying and you ain't black, don't come in here with that mess because I ain't trying to do that today. So it was upsetting because we have to do better. And the fact that the first guy didn't know who HSI was, second guy didn't even know why they were there, even though it had been talked about the day before on socials. He did a whole press conference talking about what he was planning. He didn't know why they were even there. Guy smoking a cigarette on the porch. Cop proceeds to tell him, like, you're not even supposed to be smoking. I mean, thankfully, the cop was pretty nice and was trying to do some explaining. But it's pretty scary when y'all don't know what's going on and you're already breaking a law by smoking outside, which is a ridiculous law. However, when they're looking for a reason to come and get you, they gonna take any reason. And he got lucky that it was a guy who was like, well, you're not supposed to do that out here, and kind of let it go. Because some of these cops are extremely overzealous and are waiting for any reason. Trump literally said in his press conference, he told the police they can do whatever they want, which means they have carte blanche to pop off anybody. So we have to do better as a people. We have to be watching the news, paying attention, and know what's going on, because no one is coming to save us. And when we are ignorant to the laws, ignorant to our rights, ignorant to what's going on, it only puts us in more of a place of harm. The bottom line is, I understand everybody wasn't raised watching the news. My household, between 5 and 7, 8 o'clock, that's all you was going to see. I mean, it just was non-negotiable, and it was going to be every night. So, of course, that made me be someone who I will go look at news sources. And I understand people may not have all been raised that way. However, we all have smartphones. You all have information at your fingertips. And if we can get on these stupid blogs and these gossip sites and everything else and talk about stuff, you can actually also use that phone to find information and make sure you are not getting put into situations that are harmful to you. There's no reason you can't have a news outlet, even if it's your local news station, as one of the people you're following, and see what's going on in the world. We have to know what's going on, because had y'all been prepared, you would have known they were coming to y'all neighborhood. Instead, they popped up on y'all, or you would at least been cautiously looking to see, and they popped up on y'all and then ended up taking, I want to say, between 10 and 25, I don't remember the number, people to jail. So, black people, we have to do better. We have to read books. We've got to watch news. We've got to know what's going on in the world. We have to vote. We have to do these things, and we've got to make the right decisions when we're voting. We've got to be aware so that we can protect ourselves. Because one thing I don't want to see is, because he's doing this, we now have people being innocently, that are innocent, being unalived. We don't need this. And when you give certain people carte blanche, they run with it. Please do better, y'all. Please like, please comment, please share so that people are paying attention. Maybe it'll pop up on someone's For You page and y'all will pay attention to what's going on. Because he wants to do New York and Chicago on his radar as well. Everybody needs to be prepared. protect yourselves, people, because it's serious out here.
If you think Trump's plan to take over DC's police department is about catching crime, it's not. This is about stoking white fear, making black people seem dangerous. The Trump administration wasted no time, less than half a day before posting photos of black men they've arrested on the official White House social media pages. It's a calculated move to stigmatize black people, especially black men, as criminal thugs to be feared. There is not even a single white man that they have arrested and posted on the social media page, y'all. Here's the truth. Violent crime in DC is at a 20-year low. It's dropped since 2023 and 2024. White folks will think this is solely about distracting from the Epstein files, but the harm this stigmatization will have on our communities will be widely felt for black people. They've been running this playbook on Latinos since Trump took office. Now they're turning it on black communities. An anti-black, anti-brown campaign dressed up as fighting crime. This is even worse than when the Clintons labeled black youth in our communities as super predators, because MAGA is creating the image of what a super predator looks like. Black people with children in DC, watch them. Especially watch your boys, because racial profiling and police violence is about to skyrocket there. Y'all be safe.
Let's talk about the Trump administration placing the images of black men on the White House social media pages. So the Trump administration has just crossed another line, posting the mugshots of arrested black men on the official White House social media pages. Not one white man, not one non-black face. Did you know about that? Let's be clear. This isn't about transparency or public safety. This is about controlling the narrative. And I've been talking about that this week on social media, how they are allowing the media to be controlled about what you see, controlled about what you hear about, controlled about what you learn. We're literally having to say things like, what was that word that I've been hearing, or that phrase? Music festival? What about that one? Or what about the purses? You couldn't even say the other word again because you just may get suppressed. So let's be clear. It's about stoking fear and feeding into the age-old racist stereotype that black people are inherently criminal or dangerous. Because remember, this is the same guy that took out a 4-page ad on 4 innocent young black men. Yeah, that same guy. So this isn't a new tactic, folks. We already know that. This is not new. We're used to this. We already know how this is going to go. And here's the thing. We're going to have to watch very carefully how the media plays this out, because guess what? If you think he's not controlling the media, think again. I guarantee you this entire conversation that we're having right now won't even get 3,000 views. It won't even get 300. Because my information and other people who provide news and journalistic commentary and content is being suppressed. All right. Let's get back into it, shall we? Hang on just a second. So here's what they're doing. This is not about the concept that this is new, because we all know that it is not. This is about continuing to work on the continuous stereotype of the black male in this country, right? It's used to justify over-policing. It's also used to talk about mass incarceration, because we already know what that's all about, right? You remember the 13th Amendment, and you do know what that's about, right? Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure. And that violent targeting of our communities for decades, that ain't new either. There's more. So by pushing these images out to the public on the White House page, that must make it real, right? That's got to make it real. Here's what's happening. They're shaping the perception and telling the nation who to fear. They want old white ladies to continue to clutch their purses in public and lock their doors, justifying future crackdowns. That's what they're doing too. I want you to understand that this is actually planting the seed that an increase in police and military presence in black neighborhoods is necessary. And they're distracting you guys from the systemic failure that we're all witnessing right now. You ever thought about that? You ever thought about what that means? So they're masking policy failures with the mess that we are seeing right now. Washington, D.C.'s crime rate is the lowest it's been in almost 30 years. It's down another 26%. The data and the numbers don't lie. But here's the issue. History is absolutely repeating itself. So this mirrors the exact same propaganda campaigns used to target Latinx and immigrant communities. And we're seeing that in real time, where they're just going around and they're just picking up folks. Doesn't matter who it is. We just go pick them up. That's what we're going to do. Yeah. Yeah. Now the focus is on Black communities. And y'all, we have said that on social media. We have continued to say that on social media. From the beginning, we knew that our communities were next. Now, here's the end game. It's going to be expanded racial profiling. We already see that. Okay? Higher rates of police violence, without a word being said, and further erosion of our civil rights. You ever thought about that too? Because it's coming. Here's the reason why you should be alarmed and you should be hot as fish grease. Here's what starts with selective mugshot posts that don't end there. Here's the issue. You're going to continue to see it. How dare you place their faces on there? But then this is the same administration that has somebody working their social media, and they're thinking that it's funny to go ahead and put images and video of people who are literally flipping out over what's happening with this current administration. So they're going to normalize racial bias, but we're not new to that, right? Desensitize the public. That's already been done, right? To disproportionate arrests and police violence. But see, that's already been done. That's already been done. Paving the way for harsher laws targeting specific communities under the guise of quote unquote safety. Because, you know, we've seen it before. Now, what we can't do is ignore what's happening, okay? We do understand that the shift was always there. They're just bringing it to the forefront for everybody to see more and more and more. But again, y'all, this is not new information to this community, my Black community, my Black brothers and sisters. We already know what's up. Here's our call to action. Transparency. Full racial breakdowns of arrests, not selective publicity. Accountability. Demand answers from elected officials who remain silent. And we're seeing a whole hell of a lot of that, aren't we? And here's something else. Community defense. Support local advocacy groups documenting racial profiling and fighting back in courts and councils. Listen, racial profiling and police violence are about to spike, not just in DC. They're just making it quote unquote okay to do it. You should be made aware now if you have not already been. And here's the thing. If you have young Black men in your home, if you have Black men that you love, that you honor, that you respect, just know that we need to have those conversations with our young Black men again. Mothers, daughters, sisters, grandmothers, aunties, just know. And it's not just about the Black man, it's about the Black folks, period. This is just a wake-up call. I will say this. Black folks, this is what you voted for. For those that were excited about this. You see how the press and you just get up in front of everybody and you just tell people what you want them to know and what to believe. And we believe it. How you feel about that? Because the next wave of policies are not done coming down. And you should be absolutely furious. But the question is, what you gonna do?
All right, so look, if Black people and other melanated peoples are going to survive America, then we are going to have to learn how to work together. We start small, we build trust, and we expand it until it is something that they cannot destroy. No one is coming to save us, and the truth is, America is not a stable ship, it's a sinking one. The economy is crumbling, jobs are disappearing, and even the so-called good opportunities are just prettier cages. Continuing to pour our labor, our energy, our money into the system that is collapsing is not just a waste, but it is counterproductive to our own survival. We can do better. We deserve better. The question is, what are we gonna do? And that question only has one real answer. We build for ourselves with our own hands, with our own minds, and our own people. It starts with a survival tribe. 3 to 5 people that you would bet your life on. The ones who will show up when you call. The ones who will share the last meal with you if you were hungry. The ones you trust to watch your children, your home, your back. A tribe is small, tight, and resilient. You share resources, split costs, trade skills, and protect each other from whatever comes. Now, when these survival tribes start to join forces, they form a village, and each tribe brings its own strengths. One grows food, another one has carpentry skills, another has transportation solutions, and another might know trade and barter. And the village becomes the place where resources circulate.
The Trump administration is at it again. They are now invading black communities, neighborhoods using the police force, and in the sense or in the name of trying to ensure that we have peace. And it's a fallacy, actually. Comment down below, what are some of the things that we can do as black people to ensure that we remain united and we remain successful even in the long run, because this is a war, but a silent one. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you.
We can get our needs met without having to beg the system for scraps. And every time we trade with the village instead of the system, we stop feeding a machine that's been feeding off of us for centuries. So then those villages turn into communities, larger, interconnected ecosystems where skill and trust spread. And those communities link up across the map, and we start to build a network. And that network is how we reach a leaderless unity. There's no single person to cut down, no single person to corrupt, just a living system of cooperation and survival. This is how we stop being consumers of a dying America and start to build our own world. We can start to become creators of our own future, and the internet has become a weapon for our survival. Just because our tribes don't share the same space doesn't mean we don't connect. The same network they built to monitor and distract us can be used to link us all together. We can share strategies, coordinate supply chains, teach skills, trade goods, and even pool resources without ever stepping foot in the same room. The internet can connect these distant tribes into one powerful network, bridging the gaps until villages can be formed. But let's be real. Getting to this point means that we have to unlearn some things. Right now, we're in the epidemic of loneliness. Even when we're surrounded by people, we still feel disconnected. The system raised us to be independent, to believe that asking for help is a weakness, to trust no one but ourselves. And that's exactly how they kept us isolated and unable to work together. That's exactly how they keep us spending money in their stores, paying rent to their banks, and working jobs that exhaust us instead of build for us. And if we want to survive, we have to break those habits. We have to learn the power of trust again, the power of sharing again. And that's not easy, because we've all been hurt, we've all been let down, we've all been betrayed, we've all been disappointed by people. Either we learn how to rebuild that trust, or we stay trapped in this shithole forever, holding on to a system that will never love us back. And this is where quantum liberation comes in. On the surface, it's just building tribes, villages, communities, and networks. But at the deeper level, it's about energy. Melanin isn't just a pigment, it's a superconductor, a biological receiver, a cosmic interface. It connects us beyond words. It's why we can feel a shift in the room before anyone speaks. It's why our culture travels faster than anything on Earth. When we ground that cultural frequency into real life-based systems, food co-ops, barter markets, skill exchanges, group defense, online income streams we control, then the growth is exponential. A solution in one tribe ripples to the whole village, then from the village to the community, then from the community to the network. And once the network has momentum, it moves like a force of nature. But understand this, either we work together or they win. The system survives by keeping us apart, by convincing us that we can't trust each other, and making us believe that our survival depends on investing in their survival. But it collapses the moment we pull our energy back, our labor, our spending, our belief, and pour it into our own network. And that also means doing for self. Building income we control, selling what we make, teaching what we know, creating digital products, offering services. So our survival is in the hands of these corporations or these jobs that could vanish any day. The internet gives us reach. The tribe gives us strength. And every dollar that we keep in our network isn't a dollar that goes to the machine that is trying to keep us down. So real quick, just want to go through and do a quick recap. Let's make this clear. If we want to survive America as melanated peoples, we're going to have to work together. And it starts with little survival tribes. These small tribes, these trusted crews, share resources, protect each other, and stay resilient. And tribes link into villages. Villages link into communities. And communities reach into a larger network. The internet becomes our bridge. It connects tribes even though we don't live in the same place. And it makes it so we can still share information, we can still share knowledge, we can still trade, and we can still organize without ever being in the same room. And we must stop investing in America and invest in ourselves. Continuing to invest in America is counterproductive to our own existence. We can do better. We deserve better. This network will create a leaderless unity powered by our melanin, our natural ability to connect, create, and move ideas faster than anything else on this planet. We feed this network with realistic income from online and offline sources. We learn to trust again, to share again, to break the habits that this system gave us, and we let it grow link by link until we are everywhere, exchanging, protecting, building, and thriving. That's the plan. That's the path. That's how we as melanated peoples can survive America.